President William Ruto must look at Western. And if he has to, and you have ruled out Mudavadi, Wetangula, and Oparanya, who is left? You are left with about two people, who, although with the president, they are not so much with the president. This will be Paul Otuoma, Governor Busia. And he has his own challenges. But he's a formidable person. Ken Lusaka, Governor Bungoma, outgoing governor, doing his second term. Formidable, young, likable. Somebody you have to consider if you are looking at leadership coming from the Mlembe nation. What kind of person will this be? It will have to be a person who is not anti-Ruto. In fact, perhaps even working with Ruto. But he doesn't carry that face of Ruto. He's not the sort of person when people see, they are reminded of Kenya Kwanza. It shouldn't be a person carrying those things people don't like about the government. In short, I'm saying it will be a person who, though pro-Ruto and even working with Ruto, is not very much associated with the president and with the Kenya Kwanza and UDA. That's the sort of person Moi would go for. And I quickly flashed her name. And that person should have certain qualities which Terra Ababu Namwamba would have. That surprise name, the surprise person would be Ababu Namwamba. And let me say what other qualities that person has. First and foremost, if you are looking to deal with Sifuna, you will need somebody who can match Sifuna. Intellectually, and I'm not saying these others are not intellectual. Some of these guys are intellectual heavyweights. When Wetangula speaks, you can see a brain speaking. Mudavadi is an authority. Oparanya is Dr. Oparanya now. FCPA. Experienced. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what I'm saying, that somebody intellectually capable of matching Sifuna. Ababu Namwamba is. And I will explain what I mean by that. Number two, you're also looking at age. Sifuna is selling age. And if you try to ignore that, then you are not having the pulse of the nation. The young people in this country are saying, no, please, you have had your share, you have spoiled this country, please get out of the house. And we must listen to them. So if you are making your arithmetics, unapanga sabu yako, kama wewe ni Ruto, au ni Kalonzo, you are looking for a running mate, you have to put that factor into consideration. And therefore, Ababu Namwamba enjoys the advantage of age. And remember, we are talking about matching Sifuna. And I'm not saying he will match Sifuna. Please, get my word. I'm not saying if you get Ababu Namwamba, then you silence Sifuna. I'm saying politics is sometimes reduced to trying. When the Democrats are invading the red states, they are trying. But sometimes they come out with 1 or 2 states. When the Republicans invade the blue states, Democrats area, they are just trying. But sometimes they fish a state or 2. So that is what I'm saying. And nobody should read me to be saying that you get Ababu Namwamba and you cancel out Sifuna. That would be naive of me, and I don't think I'm that naive. I'm saying what in politics is called trying. Sometimes you create battleground states, battleground areas, the yellow areas. That's what I'm saying. Ababu Namwamba has also been Secretary General of ODM. I must add, an effective Secretary General whose voice was heard, just like Sifuna. You can't be saying, even at the ODM level, you are removing Sifuna and putting somebody like Catherine Omayo. Surely, Omayo. She's a good lady. Of late, I have seen her coming out very strongly. She's what I had not seen before. She's eloquent now. She's better. But surely she's no match when you are talking about Sifuna. Ababu Namwamba is somebody you can put on a table with Sifuna. And they go there and they talk and they discuss. At the level of party politics. Therefore, he has the experience. What else? Ababu Namwamba comes from Busia like Otuoma. And if you are wanting to attack Western, if you are RUTO, there's no better place to start than Busia. Because of the political, cultural arrangement of Busia that makes it very close to Kinaburus of Siaya, of Luo Nyanza. And finally, you are looking at a man, or woman for that matter, if you are going to get a woman. I haven't seen one myself. I've come across a man called Ababu Namwamba, Kenya's High Commissioner, Uganda. Finally, Ababu Namwamba is actually a person who will be acceptable to the Luos. And that's why I say start by attacking Busia. There is some relationship between Busia and Siaya with the Luo nation. You saw the recent skirmishes there. So that's why, even when Raila was around, his strongest support, almost 100%, almost every man and woman was from Busia because of that close thing. So you also need a man who will be acceptable across the border in Luo nation. I've heard the Luos call about Nyaulego, something like that. Nyaulego, I think. Something like that. Nyaulego, something. Meaning, I think a son of some Luo place like that. He would be acceptable, having also worked very closely with Baba for a long time. And therefore, I must conclude by saying, one, that Western is not a place RUTO is going to ignore. And the two, if he is going to look for a running mate from Western, it's not going to be the usual. And remember that issue of rivalry, that if you gave Gladys Wanga or Oburu Dinga or Mbadi, Oparanya will feel very offended. He feels he's senior to those people in ODM. He'll feel very offended. If you gave Oparanya, the other side from Luo will feel very offended that we are the ones who started all these things when Baba joined you and saved you. How dare you give somebody like that? But when you bring Ababu Namwamba, you sort of do a Moi thing. That surprise alone helps you. Before the people recover from the surprise, everybody has settled and you are onto the election. And that man, Ababu Namwamba, could bring you some vote.